Alaikum, good morning to everyone. Class 8. Hope so you are fine and doing well. Today we are going to start your new unit, that is unit number 12, disaster management. As you know that unit number 11 has been accomplished, exercises are solved. So today we are going to initiate your unit number 12, that is disaster management. Unit number 12, disaster management on page number 116. Kindly open it. Okay, there are two pre-reading questions. First one is, what are natural disasters? Second is, why do we need protection from natural disasters? Okay, first you need to know what is disaster. A disaster is, write the meaning of disaster: a sudden accident or a natural catastrophe that causes great damage or losing of life. A sudden accident or a natural catastrophe, catastrophe, catastrophe that causes great damage or losing of life. Okay, management, the process of dealing with or controlling things or people. The process of dealing with or controlling things or people. So disaster management mean that how to manage the disaster. Management is a process in which you manage the things, okay, in which you manage with the people. So disaster management mean in disaster how you manage the disaster. Okay, in natural catastrophe how you manage how you manage such kind of disaster at that time, or what are the precaution, or how you manage, how many steps are there. You will learn all the steps in this chapter. And first you will know about the natural catastrophes and man-made catastrophes. So in this chapter, let's begin your unit number paragraph number 1. Disaster is defined as a catastrophe event that brings about great damage, destruction and devastation to life and property. The damage caused by disaster varies depending upon the geographical location, the severity, and above all, the type of the disaster. Disasters have been classified into two categories: natural disasters and man-made disasters. Cyclone, tsunami, floods, droughts, earthquakes, and volcanoes are a few examples of natural disasters, and wars and nuclear accidents fall in the category of the man-made disasters. However, the disaster can mitigate it and losses can be minimized with efficient preparedness and management. So again, disaster management is defined as a catastrophic mean causing a lot of damage and suffering. Suffering. So disaster is defined as a catastrophic event that brings about great damage, destruction mean damage, and devastation mean great destruction. Destruction to life and property means it's such a kind of natural disaster or such a kind of natural event, or it's a kind of catastrophic event that bring great damage to the people and the property. Okay, the damage caused by the disaster varies depending upon the geographical location, the severity, and above all, the type of the disaster. Means this kind of disaster or different kind of disaster varies on the depending upon the geographical location. ठीक है, जिस तरह की geographical location है इससे dependent जो है वो disasters होते हैं. ठीक है, disaster have been classified into categories. There are two categories of disasters. First one is natural and second one is man-made. What are the natural disasters? Like cyclones, tsunami, You know that what is tsunami? A long high sea wave caused by an earthquake or other disturbance. Okay, floods, you know, सैलाब को कहते हैं, ठीक है. ड्रॉट्स मीन्स ड्राई पीरियड. earthquake, you know, and volcanoes, you also know. Okay, these all are what? These all are natural disaster. And what are the main disaster? Like wars and nuclear accident, these all are man-made disasters. However, the disasters can be mitigated. It can be less harmful. You can make the disaster less harmful. Mitigated mean to make less something harmful, to make something less harmful or severe. Mitigated means to make something less harmful and severe, severe, severe. And losses can be minimized. Minimize mean decrease, 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 decrease. Okay, with efficient preparedness means state of readiness. A state of state of readiness, readiness, readiness. Okay, and management. However, the disaster can be mitigated means it can be less harmful, or losses can be decreased with efficient preparedness and management. If you are efficient enough to manage the things or to manage the disaster, so you can mitigate or you can minimize the losses. इज़ इट क्लियर? तो अगर आप ये एफिशिएंट हैं, मैनेजमेंट एफिशिएंट होंगी और प्रिपेयर्डनेस वेल होगी, तो लॉसेस भी कम होगा. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट इज़ okay, next paragraph. So in this paragraph you came to know about the what is disaster and what kind of disaster it could be, like natural and man-made, how it can be minimized with the efficient management and preparedness. Is it clear? So next paragraph is about disaster management is a process of coordinating and utilizing the available. Here you will talk about the disaster management, what kind of management it could be, what are the systematic process in order to control these all kind of natural catastrophe. So let's see. Disaster management is a process of coordinating and utilizing the available resources to deal with the emergency effectively in order to save lives, avoid injuries, and minimizes losses. Obviously, disaster management is a process in which you coordinate with the people, you utilize all the resources to deal with the harsh situation. ठीक है, which to deal with the harsh situation or with emergency effectively. You save lives, you can save the injuries, and you can minimize the losses with this process. Is it clear? तो डिज़ास्टर मैनेजमेंट एक प्रोसेस है जिसमें आप लोगों की ज़िंदगियां बचाते हैं और जो है एमरजेंसी के साथ डील करते हैं. ठीक है, और यू सेव पीपल फ्रॉम high losses. Is it clear? Okay, on the page number 117, next paragraph. Disaster management is a systematic process consisting of response and recovery, relief and rehabilitation. It's a kind of systematic process in which you have relief and rehabilitations. Is it clear? Rehabilitation is recovery. However, it remains incomplete with mitigation and preparedness, which are basically pre-disaster management phase. These are pre-disaster management phases. All these phases are very important in managing the disaster. How it remains incomplete without mitigation and preparedness. These two are the phases of प्री डिज़ास्टर मैनेजमेंट, यानी डिज़ास्टर से पहले के जो है ना मिटिगेशन एंड प्रिपेयर्डनेस, ये दो फेजेस हैं जिसे आप डिज़ास्टर से पहले इसको आप लॉन्च करते हैं. ठीक है, ऑल दीज फेजेस आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट मैनेजिंग द डिज़ास्टर को मैनेज करने के लिए आप इनको ये जो दो फेजेस हैं, दीज आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. First one is mitigation. Let's see what is mitigation. Mitigation is very first phase of disaster management, is a sustained action that cause both short-term and long-term risk to the people and property from hazards and their effects. It involves activities like scientific hazard analysis, vulnerability analysis, risk assessment, avoiding construction high risk zone, launching awareness campaigns, training and capacity building of responder and managers, etc. Mitigation, therefore, is an effort to lessen the impact that disaster may cause. So, mitigation is the first phase in which you take the sustained action. Sustained action means continuing for an extended period without interruption. So, it's a kind of action that reduces the long and short term risk of people and property from hazards mean danger एंड देयर इफेक्ट मीन्स ये लॉन्ग एंड शॉर्ट टर्म में जो आपको रिस्क होता है प्रॉपर्टी को या लोगों को उस डेंजर से बचाता है. इट इन्वॉल्व्स एक्टिविटी लाइक इसमें साइंटिफिक डेंजर एनालिसिस होता है. ठीक है, इसमें साइंटिफिकली एनालिसिस किया जाता है, यानी कि जो हाई बिल्डिंग्स हो रही हैं उनको देखा जाता है. व्हाट काइंड ऑफ बिल्डिंग्स आर कंस्ट्रक्टेड इन द सिटी, व्हाट इज़ रिस्क असेसमेंट देखा जाता है. इसमें जो है ज़्यादा बिल्डिंग्स अगर हाई रेट पे जो हाई जोन पे जो ये कंस्ट्रक्शन होती है इसको एनालाइज किया जाता है. लॉन्चिंग अवेयरनेस, इसमें अवेयरनेस कैंपेन यानी प्लानिंग की जाती है. ठीक है, अवेयरनेस प्लानिंग होती है कि बिल्डिंग को बनाने से पहले जो है वो इसकी जो है मैनेजर्स होते हैं या जो कंस्ट्रक्टर होते हैं उनसे उनको अवेयरनेस दी जाती है. ठीक है, इट्स अ काइंड ऑफ ट्रेनिंग और यू कैन means a kind of planning before the construction. ठीक है, ये प्लानिंग होती है. एंड कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग और रिस्पॉन्डर एंड मैनेजर्स, तो इसमें जो है साइंटिफिकली भी देखा जाता है कि एक एरिया है उसकी क्या पोजीशन है, व्हाट टाइप ऑफ बिल्डिंग्स कैन बी कंस्ट्रक्टेड इन द एरिया. कंपेन्स होती हैं, प्लानिंग्स होती हैं. ठीक है, अवेयरनेस प्लानिंग होती है, ट्रेनिंग दी जाती है. सो दीज ऑल आर प्री डिज़ास्टर मैनेजमेंट फ़ेज़ है. ठीक है, ये डिज़ास्टर से पहले का फ़ेज़ है. देयरफॉर इज एन एफर्ट टू लेसन द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ डिज़ास्टर में कॉज. तो इस फेज़ में शुरू में ही जो है वो एक तैयारी की जाती है कि वो जो डिज़ास्टर है वो यहाँ पे इफ़ेक्ट ज़्यादा उसका इफ़ेक्ट ना हो. ठीक है, इज़ इट क्लियर? So the rest of the phases will be read tomorrow. I want you to read the rest of the phases by your own self. You will come to know what are the other phases, how you can save yourself from disaster and how you can manage in this in this very dangerous condition, how you can save your lives and others life as well. So next one is preparedness or response. Okay, then there is recovery, and I guess this is the last one. So we will read the next one in the next class. So write the meanings. You can start your work, write down the words meaning on your neat notebooks. Up till now the words I told you can write on your neat notebooks. Okay, see you in the next class. Take care. Allah Hafiz.